Diddy's legal team submit new proposal for his release. Conditions include a $50 million bond. Yeah. And it's basically saying no access to phone, internet, and more. But do you guys think he's going to get it? I mean, this is the biggest thing. They keep stating that, oh, other people have been released. So why hasn't he been released? We're going to talk Diddy updates. Um, and like I said, that there's concerns in regards to people are also talking about his mom. So I'm hoping that she's not going to be a part of his racketeering and legal issues. That's not going to be good. A son is definitely supposed to protect his mother from drama issues and, having her be a part of. And I said that. I'm hoping that his family won't have any same legal issues as Diddy. I'm hoping, but if there's reports out there, let me go back and look that up. Hold on one second. We're going to pull up the information about the mom. And we're going to get to the bail information. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, it's basically saying Diddy's being accused of using mother's name in regards to hiding money and robbing artists of their publishing. So this could be an issue. It's actually a new lawsuit. Baby, if it's not one thing, it's another. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Press 3 if you're new, where you're watching from. Press 3 if you're new, where you're watching from. Like the video as you guys come in. Like the video. Double tap the screen to hit the like. Or you could hit the thumbs up above the video or below the video. Thank you for hitting the like. Let's continue to get the likes up. Yeah, it's been a few days since I did a Puffy update. I did generally about the mom. But we're going to get into some clips and we're going to find out what's going on. Welcome, UK. Good morning, everyone. And then some people are talking about, will Trump pardon? I don't think he will. If it's tied to minors alleged, there's constant lawsuits that's coming out. I don't think a lot of people want to tie their name to his issues. You know what I mean? I don't see it. And some people are putting it into their title, but over here, we bring the TTT. I don't do clickbait. I don't try and falsify just to have you guys click in. We try and keep you updated on the TTT, period. So I think Trump's going to be focused on what he has to do over the next 200 days in the next 4 years. Now, whether he does that in regards to the guys at the Capitol, we'll see. But Trump has a busy schedule. He has a lot of cleanup to do. Cleanup on 9, 10, 11, and 12. He has a lot going on. And then you gotta remember, there was people that was trying to take him out. Who do that? You know what I'm saying? Where they do that at? Come on. There's so much that's going on in the world. High prices, immigration. There's so much stuff going on in the world, and then he just made a huge announcement where I did a video on that too, in regards to male, female, there's immigration stuff. He's made a lot of statements. So if he do, I'll be surprised if he pardoned this person. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we're definitely going to talk about Diddy and he seeking to get bail. So let me get to this video. Come on in. Like the video, press 3 if you're new, where you're watching from. Press 3 if you're new, where you're watching from. Hold on one second. I appreciate everyone for being here. Good morning. Good morning.
Same way that I felt. Because we learned that Courtney Burgess has been summoned back to testify again next week. So it's a good time to bring in Ariel Mitchell, Courtney Burgess's attorney. You saw her sitting beside Courtney on the air. Hey, it's good to see you again, Ariel. Boy, this is becoming a frequent visit that you and I are having.
No, let me get to the other one. We'll do that one in a minute. Let's see. Hold on one second. There we go. Hold on one second.
Lawyers for Sean Diddy.
Like the video as you guys come in. I appreciate you all for being here.
this time, including around lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs now making another request for him to be released from jail. Attorneys for the hip-hop mogul proposed a stricter set of conditions this time, including around-the-clock security monitoring and very little contact with basically anyone else but his lawyers. The request for a $50 million bond amount remains the same. Combs was arrested back.
$50 million is a lot. Fair use, reaction video. $50 million is a lot. And he's looking at other cases of people that's being released. But what's being alleged about him, like I always said, a judge, jury will have to decide if there's any wrongdoing. He's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Let's continue. Fair use, reaction video.
In September, after being indicted on federal sex trafficking charges, he has pleaded not guilty.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show.
So that's that one. Hold on one second. Do you guys think that that package he's presenting is going to assist and help? Or do you think that they're going to say no? Even though it seems like a decent package, we understand why you're trying to get out. They're concerned that he's going to... Yep, here it is. Hold on one second. Hold on. Let me double check it. Like the videos, you guys. Come in, like the video. Okay, yep. This is one I wanted.
Pre-trial release and what the plan will be moving forward. Welcome to Moving from Sean Cole and his indictment on sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy.
Like the video. Thanks for being here, everyone. Yes, everyone's flowing in. Good morning. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Good morning.
And transportation to engage in prostitution charges. He has been locked up behind bars. He's locked up at the Metropolitan Detention Center out in Brooklyn. Now, he has been denied bail, pre-trial release, multiple
Fair
times.
use, reaction
So what
video.
we're going to dissect these legal efforts that his attorneys have been engaging and have been making to get him out of there, and what the future may hold. So, as we've already explained on sidebars in the past, the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center, that is not a place you want to be. It is violent. It is dirty. I mean, it was just the subject of an interagency sweep by federal...
And y'all saw when they went in there and they did that investigation recently, they did a sweep. Let's continue.
Authorities who confiscated all of this different contraband. And it seems to me that Combs wants to get out of there. And why, by the way, I think it seems his attorneys have been pushing for a trial as soon as possible. I mean, it's currently scheduled for May 2025, less than a year after his arrest. And these kinds of cases, particularly racketeering and sex trafficking cases, which can be quite complicated, they take time. For a trial to happen this quickly, seems to me that his attorneys want this to be put behind him. We want to go on trial as soon as possible.
And let's see if the May 2025 does happen, or will they have to push it back because they're not ready? Allege.
Partially to get him out of there. He doesn't want to be in the MDC for another 2 to 3 years as he waits for trial. That's just my theory. And look, my theory also is that I'm going to show you a way to potentially make money.
Hold on. Like the video. Thanks for being here, everyone. Yes, everyone's flowing in. Good morning. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. I had to skip the ad. Hold on.
If he is granted bail, and we'll talk about that, his attorneys may try to push that trial date back. Because actually, as we get into this, I think there's an argument that he thought he was going to make bail, knowing he was about to be arrested.
Many people thought that he thought that he was going to get bail. You could see, because how his children are acting, it does not seem like Diddy has put anybody in his place to step up to now. His son just last week announced that he's handling Diddy's Instagram. It should be somebody different to paint the picture. They're trying to paint a better picture about Diddy, but it seems like they're rolling out stuff. It's interesting how they're rolling out stuff. Like the video.
And figured, you know what? I'll just be on house arrest for a year, 2 years, 3 years as I wait trial. It seems to me they didn't expect that his bail was going to be denied and he was going to be locked up in the MDC. But we'll get to that. Hey, by the way, any business owners out there watching us here on Sidebar, maybe those of you thinking of starting a business, well, you might want to listen up because we partnered with this awesome sponsor. It's Youth Side up in the MDC, but we'll get to that. Hey, by the way, any business owners out there watching us here on Side is big. New York, pursuant to federal sex crimes charges, is that he was brought before Magistrate Judge Robin Tarnowski. And his attorney submitted a letter to the court on September 17th, where they lay out some of their reasoning for why he should be granted bail, pretrial release. And what they say is, look, Judge Combs has taken a series of actions in anticipation of his arrest and indictment that prove he is, quote, eminently trustworthy, and that, quote, he should be released while he waits for trial. They write, the first thing the court should know is that when it became apparent to his counsel that Mr. Combs would at some...
Good morning, everyone. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 33K. Continue to hit the like button. We're only at 10 likes. We should be at 100. Double tap the screen, please. Hit the thumbs up above the video, below the video. Thanks for being here. Fair use reaction video.
Point soon be formally charged, he did something extraordinary. He left his home in Miami and traveled to New York, the very location of the prosecutors and agents investigating him. Through counsel, Mr. Combs promptly told the government that he had voluntarily come to New York, offered to tell them specifically where he was, and offered to turn himself in at the appropriate time. Now, as we know, government agents, they arrested him. Nonetheless, they didn't allow him to surrender. But the point is that he voluntarily showed up, showing he is not a flight risk. He is cooperative. He should be granted bail. The Combs attorneys also explained that Combs, he knew the Southern District of New York was investigating him for months. And his lawyers say, look, we tried to reach out to the prosecutors since March to talk about the case, to talk about the investigation, but the prosecutors, they didn't respond. But after the infamous raids on Sean Combs' properties in March, Combs, they say, actually surrendered his passport to his lawyers. This was back in April. And from there, his lawyers say, you know what else, Judge? We kept telling prosecutors where Combs was going. We kept them up to date on his travel plans, what he was doing. So he surrenders his passport. We are letting the prosecutors know where he's going. Again, he's not a flight risk. Also, they say, Combs never left the country, even though he has a private plane. And on top of that, Combs was making efforts to sell that plane, all trying to show that he was
trying to sell the plane. He's also trying to sell the house. But many people are concerned about purchasing the house because they say, from what they're hearing alleged, is a concern. So he's having a hard time selling his house as well. Like the video, like the video. Fair use. Yes, I have to stop and play it. Sorry.
In good faith.
Fair
he's
use.
Not a flight risk, that he can be trusted. And from there, what Combs' counsel did is they proposed a bail package. And what it was a $50 million bond, $50 million, co-signed by Sean Combs and other members of his family, that this would be secured by the equity in his Miami property and his mother's Florida home too. He would restrict his travel to New York, Florida, and New Jersey. His passport would remain surrendered, but also, by the way, his family members, like his mom, daughters, their passports would also be surrendered. This would be in addition to home confinement with GPS monitoring, and they argue that this would satisfy any concern the government would have that Combs is a risk of flight or a danger to the community. And from a legal point of view, from a legal standard, his team said, yes, by law, sure, there is a presumption of detention in sex trafficking cases, very, very serious cases. But they indicate, and this is true, that presumption is rebuttable. It can be overcome. And his attorneys highlight how he is not running from this. They highlight his philanthropic work. They highlight the fact that he's helped in disaster efforts, how he has helped the community, how he has helped people in the music industry, the black community, and so on.
Do you think that was all the front to distract away from the media? Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Continue to hit the like button, everyone. Continue to hit the like button. Fair use reaction video.
Now, not surprisingly, the prosecution opposed this. In their letter to the court, they doubled down on the allegations against Combs that he is violent, that he abuses and sex traffics women, that he possesses weapons. So they're really honing in on the allegations in the indictment. And they wrote, there is no condition or combination of conditions that will reasonably assure the appearance of the defendant as required and the safety of others and the community, not to mention the integrity of the proceedings. As reflected by the gravity of the charges in the indictment, the defendant is dangerous and poses an ongoing threat to the safety of the community. If released, he remains a serious risk of flight despite the conditions offered by his counsel. And I mean, look, they're charged.
Yes, I do interact with my comments, but right now I'm focused on getting the information out. A lot of times when people send super chats, I really interact. People don't have to send a super chat, but I'm actually focused on getting the video out, and that's what my page do. Some pages will wait a good 30 minutes before they even get the show started. Not here. My show goes extremely fast. I do. Sometimes I don't even have the proper likes and I continue with my show. Some shows don't even get started until they have at least $100 or $200 in super chats. My show's a little different. You want to interact? You're more than welcome to send a super chat. That's fine, but I'm working on my show. You can direct your show however you want, but my show's a little different. I get straight to the topics. I do. Like the video, like the video. Thanks for being here, everyone. Fair use.
Him with operating a criminal enterprise and engaging in the sex trafficking of individuals and forced labor and kidnapping and bribery and obstruction. So I'm not surprised that they're saying this, but But talking about that, they also write, most glaringly, the defendant also poses a significant risk of obstruction of justice. Indeed, and as set forth below, during the course of the charged conduct, the defendant has attempted to bribe security staff and threatened and interfered with witnesses to his criminal conduct. He has already tried to obstruct the government's investigation of this case, repeatedly contacting victims and witnesses and feeding them false narratives of events. There are simply no conditions that would ensure that the defendant's efforts to obstruct and tamper with witnesses will stop. That was a big shocker, that last part about allegedly reaching out to witnesses and victims. That was big. That became a big topic of discussion when both sides argued their case in person in front of Judge Tarnofsky. And Judge Tarnofsky in the end told Combs, your behavior warrants detention. Quote, your prior substance abuse and the fact that the alleged violence seems to occur hand in hand with times when you are not necessarily in control of your actions because of that substance abuse. Your lawyer asked me to trust you and to trust him, and I don't know that I think you can trust your...
This is a chat GPT for Airbnb. This new
Like the video, like the video. Thanks for being here, everyone. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Fair use. I had to let the ad go and skip the ad. Like the video, like the video. News update.
And I don't believe that counsel has the ability to control you. So Judge Tarnofsky, due to all of these factors, denied Combs bail. Well, from there, the bail issue moved in front of a different judge, United States District Court Judge Andrew Carter. Now, in Sean Combs' attorney's letter to Judge Carter, advocating for pretrial release, they included many of the same arguments that I just mentioned, the same background, but they also updated the bail package. So it includes everything that I mentioned before, but now they added that when Combs is on home confinement, there are going to be restrictions on visitors. So it'll just be family, property caretakers, and friends who are not alleged co-conspirators in the case. In terms of female visitors, since the main allegation is that Sean Combs had sexually abused and exploited and threatened women, these female visitors would only be family members or mothers of the children. Also, Combs proposed hiring a...
And if you did not know, Orlando Brown said, you don't have to worry about the female coming in. That's what Orlando Brown said, jokingly, but that's his comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's continue. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. We're trying to get to 33K. We're trying to get to 33K. So please subscribe to the page and turn on your notification bell. Let's continue.
Security company that would monitor him, and also it would provide visitor logs to the court. Combs also promised not to contact any grand jury witnesses, and he would agree to weekly drug testing. And at one point, they also said that his internet and cell phone usage would be taken away too. And Combs' attorneys also addressed some of the arguments that were put forward by the prosecution. For instance, they addressed the infamous 2016 videotape that was released by CNN back in May of Sean Combs beating his ex-girlfriend Cassandra Ventura in a hotel hallway. We believe Cassandra Ventura is the key witness in this criminal case. But they say that that 2016 Cassandra Ventura incident is being mischaracterized by the prosecution. Because whereas the prosecution said that Combs had beat up Ventura and then allegedly tried to bribe a security officer to keep it quiet, and this therefore shows Combs engages in obstruction of justice and why he should not be allowed to be released on the outside, Combs' team says, look, this is from 8 years ago. It's not obstruction because under the law, obstruction requires someone acting corruptly with respect to an official proceeding, like a trial, and nothing like that was happening at the time. And with respect to Combs allegedly reaching out to victims and witnesses, Combs' lawyer said Mr. Combs is entitled to gather witnesses to defend himself against the government's allegations of sex trafficking.
And y'all let me know how y'all feel about him contacting or allegedly contacting. Like the video. Thanks for being here, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe. Continue to hit the like button.
Racketeering. As part of that defense, he, with counsel's blessing, has called potential defense witnesses to let them know that counsel would reach out to speak with them. Tellingly, the government does not point to, nor can they, any conversation Mr. Combs has had with a potential witness since he had knowledge of the criminal investigation where he pressured any witness to change their story. The prosecution responded to all that, and I do want to highlight something they said in particular that was really disturbing. They wrote, since at least in or about January 2024, when the defendant was unquestionably aware of the criminal investigation, the evidence shows that he is engaged in multiple freak-offs, some involving the interstate transportation of individuals to participate, has continued to use narcotics, and has contacted multiple witnesses.
It was alleged that there was items in Diddy's room. Alleged. Like the video, like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Continue to hit the like button. Thanks for being here. Yes, I have to stop it, play it. Yes, I do.
Some of this conduct has even taken place since the defendant arrived in New York City, allegedly to sit it out and wait to be arrested. The defendant's conduct is demonstrably not cooperative and indeed highlights his inability to abide by the law or counsel's directives. So that was big. In other words, this alleged illegal conduct, including these freak-offs, these coerced sexual sessions that were sometimes drug-fueled, all of this was happening even this year And his illicit conduct, they say, was happening even when he came to New York right before he was arrested.
Yeah.
And when they argued in front of Judge Carter, something very interesting happened. And there was one specific interaction I want to highlight from that hearing. So prosecutors, they really focused on that 2016 tape of Sean Combs beating Cassandra Ventura. And prosecutors said that this shows Combs is...
And prayers go out to the alleged victims. Prayers go out to Cassie. She has done a lot to shed light on Diddy's alleged character. And then they're mad that the video got leaked. Well, if you wouldn't have did it, there's probably other videos that we don't know about that shows his character. But like the video. A judge, jury will have to decide if he's done any wrongdoing. The video was crazy and sad. She was literally trying to get away. Because remember, everybody was like, why didn't she leave? Why hasn't she tried to leave? Look what happened when she just tried to get into an elevator. Hello. Like the video. Thanks for being here.
Violent, and that he's dangerous. And that Ventura, what she was actually doing, she was trying to escape a freak-off in that video, that main theme in the indictment. That Combs used violence and threats and drugs to force people into prolonged sex sessions with male sex workers. Well, interestingly, Combs' team characterized that episode not as an instance of sex trafficking or a freak-off, but rather it was a domestic spat. Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, told the court the sex and the violence were totally separate and motivated by totally different things. And then when it came to freak-offs and sex workers, look, that was the way these two adults chose to be intimate. The prosecution countered that and said Agnifilo is minimizing and understating Combs' violent